Oh boy. I'm back. It's been a while. No stained. And I'm no longer at the hotel.
Trying to find my way through another day, but my tears won't go away. They say I should get on my knees and pray, trying to find a way through this miserable day.
For those who know me, I was in retail Afghanistan for 7 years. 7 years as a prisoner in one of the worst and most unappreciative establishments known to man. Or, so I thought.
But Bessie, what about season 2? Last time we saw you, you were kidnapped.
I'll get to that. Well, you know what? Fuck it, I'll address it now. I was interweaving stories from real life with a sub-story that would eventually become the main plot line. The sub-story was this. The writer was considering selling the YouTube channel to Comply Media LLC, a multi-channel network. I was completely against the acquisition. I've seen what MCNs can do to budding YouTube channels, and the contracts are absolutely one-sided, and they're always against the creator. The writer and Opti, you piece of shit, started meeting up with the leader of Comply Media LLC, Jasper Jehoshaphat Rogers. Optimistic Red Panda was going to be planted as the star of the channel. The writer got addicted to drugs, which were actually pixie sticks, and became a junkie. Eventually, the writer signs over the channel for a bag of pixie sticks, and Jasper sends the order for me to be kidnapped. This is where I was in the story, but my job at the hotel became too much. Dad and I lost everything on my hard drive. I got a new brand spanking new computer, but I did the dumbass thing and forgot to back up my files and lost everything. Between that time and doing other things, and I was just wondering if I should continue this channel. But here I am making a video. So I bet y'all are wondering, how did season 2 end? I'll share it right here. After being kidnapped by Rogers, how you say it, cohorts, henchmen, whatever you want to call them, me and Opti are in a prison cell. I ask Opti, why are you here? He replies, long story. And I said, you know what, I got nothing but time. Opti wants me to transform into the Gunner Red Panda, but at that point I'm clearly too depressed. I'm content with just dying, accepting my fate. Opti then pours his heart out to me. He says he doesn't want the channel. He just wants to be featured more. He also says Comply Media LLC was taking over YouTube and has called for a summit to kill a whole bunch of creators. In my last gathering of optimism, which is there isn't very much, I do 2 things. I promise Opti, if we ever make it out of this, we're making a video about unicorns. And I also tell a very depressing story about my backstory, origin, and how I hate myself every day because I'm a goddamn anime character. The revelation I make in season 2 is that I hate myself because I'm drawn like a goddamn anime character. That also brings another thing to the forefront. Why do a lot of people think I like anime? I mean, I don't like anime. I mean, it's cool or whatever, but people think, oh, you watch this, I don't fucking know, what's the good one? I don't know, One Piece or Bleach. You think you watch that? Because you're a nerd, you're blackish, you got glasses or whatever? No, I don't even keep up with fucking Marvel, dude. That shit's beyond me, dude. I think it's pretty cool. I think all that stuff's pretty cool, but no, I play Magic the Gathering. I'm pretty boring, and I do D&D. I want to start another campaign sometime soon. I don't like anime. It's just something about it. It's just I can't relate. I can't relate to like anime because a lot of people got their start when Dragon Ball Z and Code Lyoko on Toonami or whatever it was called. I never had that. I skipped that entire era. I didn't have that or whatever growing up. I didn't have cable. I didn't have my first video game system until I was like 12. Yeah, it was 12. I didn't have my first video game system until I was like 12. So I missed out a lot of my childhood. I grew up dirt fucking poor. I don't know shit about it. So people talk about how great their childhood was. I want to fucking forget mine. I don't want to be reminded of that shit. It's just a black fucking hole that I don't want to be reminded of. When people bring up anime, that's the type of shit that's going through my fucking head. Ran over. So after I tell them about my horrible upbringing and why the hell I hate anime or whatever the fuck it was, I'm trying to make this deal with Opti. A gang of guards come up and shoot me. I die. Before I die, I say deal's off, and that's supposed to be the end. Terrible ending, right? Nah, that's not the ending. So I transform into Gunner Red Panda. Me and Opti go forth. I kill all the guards. We come across the rider who's next to a pile of drugs, who's been mortally wounded, and he's gasping for air. It's like, and you know, he's the reason that this whole fucking thing has happened. If it wasn't for him trying to shortcut his way to fucking fame, trying to think, hey, I'm gonna sign with this fucking MCN, become, you know, rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'm gonna get rid of the character that I drew like a fucking anime character. I'm gonna be famous off of it. I'm gonna get famous off Opti, the more superior character, which everybody loves Opti. I don't like his ass. No offense, Opti.
None taken.
See, he's cool. He looks at me, he's dying, and I take a shot at him. I miss my shot. And he's like, pathetic. You couldn't even kill me correctly. And I say, look behind you, you piece of shit. Behind him is all this inexplicable, explosive shit. I run off and it explodes and kills the rider or whatever. So me and Opti are running off, we're just killing people or whatever. We come across this final room. Gunner Red Panda gets leveled with a shotgun blast. I mean, he's fucking toppled over. And he's pretty much like, usually Gunner Red Panda at that level, he's impervious to all fucking damage or whatever, but for some reason this shotgun just leveled his ass and he's on the floor dying or whatever. The shadowy figure appears, Jasper Jehoshaphat Rogers. I know what the fuck you're wondering. Why the hell would I name the main bad guy Jasper Jehoshaphat Rogers?
He's fat!
It was the first name that come across. Jehoshaphat, I think it's biblical. Jasper and Jehoshaphat, most southern thing I could think of. Rogers, how am I gonna freaking smooth this over? I'll just add Rogers at the end of it with a D, just to be more dickly, you know? So he's standing over me with a shotgun. He hands the shotgun over to Opti. He wants Opti to kill me, and I'm begging him, yeah, kill me. Go ahead, do it. Do it, you motherfucker, you pink piece of shit. Go ahead, kill me. Kill me, motherfucker. And then he just tells him, go ahead, shoot him. Shoot Pessy. Shoot him. He wants to kill you anyway. That's all he wants to do. Kill you. Kill you. So Opti, he takes the gun. He aims it at me. And I'm just telling him, go ahead, do it. Put me on my misery. Go ahead. Do it, you pink piece of shit. Come on. Fucking do it. Then Jasper is like, do it. Yeah, kill him. All he wants to do is kill you. And Opti's like,
I can't do it.
so Jasper just takes the gun and just shoots Opti. Point blank range with the shotgun. Blasted him back. Jasper just starts cackling, fucking just laughing at all the carnage he's caused, and all the dead creators from YouTube he's slaughtered in order to like combine everything into a Swiss bank account and be rich off his ill-gotten gains. Like he says, flex channels are the big thing now. Whose money I'm gonna flex with now or whatever. And then suddenly, the earth just starts shaking. Gunner Red Panda, who's dying, he transformed into Agent 42 Red Panda. If you ever seen the outro to my videos, the guy with the Uzi, that's him. That's Agent 42 Red Panda. He shoots the living shit out of Jasper like several fucking times, just killing him. So off screen, and Jasper's like, hey, I'm a secondary character. That means like at the end of the season, my life reset. So off screen, Agent 42 follows him and kills him off screen so he'll never reappear again. So pretty much I just committed fourth wall murder. So after breaking the fourth wall and jumping back through it again, I found Opti, who's fucking alive. Magically. I don't know how the fuck he's alive, but he actually lived past the shotgun blast that took out Gunner Red Panda. If that is not raising power levels, I don't know what the fuck is. Opti asked,
What are we gonna do now?
I said, we're gonna make a fucking music video. Make a music video. Opti, in the middle of it, he interrupts, so I kill him. And that's how season 2 ends. Season 2 was a clusterfuck. It was experimental, it was confusing. I just wanted to try something new that I've seen in I've seen a couple people do it, or a couple shows do it. They interweave 2 stories. Eventually one of the stories become the main plot. But I just couldn't pull it off. If I had to look back on season 2 and name my favorite episode, it's probably the one where Pessy has to take care of the kid. That's the one that took the most thought. It really pushed my editing skills. I mean, even though I'm not I would not consider myself a great editor at all. I mean, I use stills for goodness sakes. But it took my editing skills and other things, and it pushed it to a level that I probably will never exceed again. Hands down, that was my favorite episode to work on. Doing the voice acting, coming up with all those songs, getting the music for that video was great. And for those who do not know, that video was part of a series called Crossing the Line. And Crossing the Line is a show, it's a show concept I use. That's Pessy, or Pessimist Red Panda. He's presented with an issue that crosses a proverbial line. That's why it's called Crossing the Line. Whether it be invasion of privacy, childcare, retail, straight up extortion, consists of some issue that crosses a line. It usually ends in senseless violence. Not all the time, but that's usually par for the course. That being said, I don't know if this series will continue in the future. Hell, I don't even know if a lot of this will continue in the future, or the future of this channel. So as of right now, it's up in the air. It's tentative, but I really want to get back to making these videos, sharing my life experiences, sharing my opinions on certain things. With that being said, I know y'all want to know, why did I leave Hotel Eritrea? Or is Eritrea? I can tell you how it ended. 6:30 p.m. on October 30th, 2024. I'm handing over my keys to my assistant, my front desk manager. I didn't want to leave. I really didn't want to leave. It was to the point, every day I would come to work, I would feel my heart about to explode in my fucking chest. It was that damn stressful. I mean, I've made more money at that job than I ever have in my life. There's more to life than money. A lot of people say, nah, I'd rather have the money. Like, okay, go there, work there, put yourself in my shoes. I mean, that may sound cliche, but shit, you wouldn't even last a month with the conditions I had to deal with. The bullshit I put up with that for that fucking place. I had to ask myself continuously. A lot of the people in the know would say, you're not giving yourself enough credit, or you're not giving the hotel enough credit. But I have to ask myself, now this is not counting motels, I'm talking about a hotel. Was it worth it to have the shittiest hotel in Albany, Georgia? Was it worth it to take the verbal abuse and threats from the management company, which I will call Bright Brain Management? People that only drive there like once a month to see how the property's doing. The answer is, fuck no. And I will repeat that to this day. Fuck no. I had to look like a general manager, smell like a general manager, which isn't bad. I do like some good cologne. Y'all have ever had mahogany teak wood from Bath and Body Works? Yeah, I'm not using anything really expensive, no Polo or whatever. No, but some good smelling shit. I had to look like a GM, smell like a GM. But when I looked in the mirror, I was an empty vessel, no sleep token. I'm a person who sinks everything into my work. And where the fuck did it get me? It got me disrespected like fuck, stressed out and overworked, had hardly any help from a management company who clearly claims to know what's going on because of this data-driven bullshit. So where did it all begin? Other than myself, who was responsible for my end at Hotel Eritrea? There were several factors that led to the end of my career at Hotel Eritrea, and Super Hot Fire had nothing to do with it. Factor number one, I'm just going to call this person FBK. FBK was the previous GM. She was the master of delegation, the master of procrastination. Sometimes I would call if I had a question, and hardly would she ever reach back. She was a master of ceremony. living her best life while everyone else at the hotel would suffer greatly. When it was her time to step up and get her hands dirty, it would be a rare occurrence. I can't tell you a job where I would be absent 100 days out of the year and still be employed. Have the ASM, which was me at the time, do everything while she sits on her ass in the office and watch Instagram and TikTok reels. She would show up late to work at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., go to lunch from 12 to 1, be back at 2, leave at check-in time. For what it's worth, she did know a lot about the hotel business, the labor equation, how to respond to customer complaints. There were multiple times I believe, hell, I knew she was completely in the wrong. We had issues with keeping people. I don't know if she had an issue with communication or directing people, but a good many people left on her watch, some during the middle of the shift. And guess who had to finish that shift? It wasn't her. I remember one time in particular, a person had quit right when they clocked in, and I was already there from 7 to 3. She made me stay until 11 p.m. that night. It was a rare occurrence she would cover any shifts at the front desk or cover breakfast. That was mainly me. Then she would complain that I would have overtime. Bitch, I wouldn't have overtime if you, 1, y'all would put me on salary, and 2, you would cover some fucking shifts, and 3, do your fucking job. Hotel GM is a 24/7 job, and she would ghost us more than Casper. She would dead us like Texas did the measles vaccine or John Cena did on his farewell tour. Quips aside, you had to be accessible to the hotel. I got 2 more examples for y'all. In Albany, we would have this marathon at the beginning of March. For some reason, FBK thought it was a great idea to give the housekeeping executive the day off. So I had to do a housekeeping. One of our housekeepers, she had a problem with a certain substance. It wasn't white, it came in a bottle, and you shouldn't consume it during work hours. She had one of those problems. Let me put it like this, I got there at 8 a.m., it was 8 p.m., and I was still cleaning rooms. FBK, she left at 4 p.m., got there at 10 or 11 like usual, left at 4 p.m. All the rooms are still not in, and we still have people checking in. At this point, I've been there for about 12, 13 hours. I'm fucking tired. I'm running on fucking fumes. The maintenance person at the time, he was also trying to clean the rooms. It was a fucking mess. So she called me at 8:15. I started fucking panicking because we had a lobby full of people. We still have a few more rooms to go. Fucking tired. Haven't had anything to eat. And she's talking about get a hold of yourself. You know how in your brain you have these things that give you a filter, give you control. Right then and there, whatever it was that was holding me together, it fucking snapped. I just went off on her. I said, I've been here since 8 a.m., haven't had a break, and still working on these rooms. If you were here instead of wherever the fuck you are, we wouldn't have this fucking problem. She hung up the phone. At that point, I thought I lost my fucking job. I thought she would come up here and fire my ass. Call me back and just fire me. I thought that was going to happen. She was there in 15 minutes, and she finished the rest of the rooms. I left. The second story occurred on May 22nd, 2023, a few months later. Again, I was checking rooms. I've been on the phone with technical support all day because we had no use of our credit cards. I was called in the night before, around 11 p.m., and of course, the front desk agent called FBK in an attempt to get a contact of her. She didn't respond. They couldn't find anything. I was there from 11 p.m. to about 2 a.m., went back home because I had to be back at 8 to check rooms. So I got there at 8 o'clock to check rooms. I made the boards. For anybody that doesn't know, doesn't have hotel know-how, a board is an assignment sheet for a housekeeper. We use this program, I want to say it was called Core, and it was spelled with a Q, to make boards. It was like our hub for like hotel communications. It was very laggy for some weird reason. I don't know why, but it was an okay system. It was just very laggy. About 8:30, I get a call from the tech support team to continue our research. I text FBK, letting her know we are having problems with credit cards. I'm pretty sure she received the calls or the text from other front desk agents stating this issue. Around 10 a.m., FBK came to work and realized our credit card terminals are down, even though we tried to have correspondence with her, telling her as such. So she immediately wanted to merge calls with a tech support agent I was on the phone on, and she just started yelling and demanding that they fix this. Like, that's gonna get anything fucking done, you stupid bitch. So while I was checking rooms and they were doing diagnostic stuff, she wouldn't even lift a finger to help out. While she was in there watching Instagram reels or on the phone with the future RD. Yes, her and the current RD are buddy. While she was on the phone with them, I was assisting the front desk, checking rooms, making sure the housekeepers were doing their job, making sure breakfast was gone, doing all these other things, while she's yelling at fucking tech support to get this job done faster. So eventually they found the issue. It was an old password that needed to be reset, and that's about it. Well, at least I thought it was going to be about it. Until about 3 p.m., the 3 to 11 person had called out. We're trying to scramble and find somebody. For a second, I thought, damn, I gotta check rooms. Not only do I have to check rooms, I'm gonna have to run this desk all damn day, because I know FBK is not gonna do this shit. Someone must have heard my cry. FBK decided she was gonna work the desk. We actually did find somebody that was willing to come in. They would come in around 6 p.m., so it was a few hours until they come in. But there was a catch. FBK decided it was a great idea to go ahead and get lunch. I guess the lunch she had before wasn't enough. It must be nice because I haven't had lunch or a break yet. So I run the front desk till about 6:30. She gets back here. So I go back to checking rooms. I'm almost done. I only got a few more rooms to check, so my day is almost over with. While I'm in one room checking in, she calls me on my cell phone. She starts off the conversation saying, "Hey, I'm not talking about you." And usually when they say I'm not talking about you, you know exactly what that fucking means. That means they're aiming exactly at you. She says, "Well, I'm not talking about you," but she says something about the front desk being buddy with the guests about packages and shit. So I have a funny story about that. We had one guy that got really angry because every time he'd get a package, we'd ask him for ID. I can see how that would be frustrating. The reason we ask for ID is because we don't know if he's one of those what do you call them motherfuckers, shapeshifter, you know. All joking aside, we ask for ID just to make sure that we don't hand the package off to the wrong person. Now, if you see a person there long enough, I mean, if they stay there every week and you don't know who these people are, I don't know if you're too choked out or your brain, there's not enough oxygen coming to your fucking brain. If you work the front desk enough, you will know these people, who these people are. You would know your biggest contracts. You would know what business they're from. You would know who the leads are. You would know the clientele that your hotel has. FBK didn't know none of this shit. So one of our biggest contracts, you're asking why are we so buddy with this guy? Because this guy has been staying here for 3 or 4 fucking months, giving this hotel thousands of fucking dollars, where he could go across the street and spend thousands more and get way better service. So yes, we're buddy because we want to keep the guests happy. That's what a fucking hotel is for, you stupid bitch. It's not to fucking rob people blind their fucking money, even though the hotel industry is lucrative. It's very lucrative. The thing is, if you want to make your customers or guests, repeat customers or guests, you treat them with respect. You don't treat them like numbers. I just got a little heated there. I apologize, but it's called customer service. FBK, you shouldn't be in the hotel industry. Matter of fact, I don't think you should be in management, period. You need to relearn all that shit. While I'm suffering, checking rooms, been there since 8 o'clock. It's going on about 7 o'clock. You want to go off on me about how I run the desk or whatever, or how people get buddy with the guests. And my thing is, we're not trying to fuck the guests. We're not like that. We're not trying to fuck the guests. Yes, we are buddy because we treat them like they're at home. We don't treat them like fucking outsiders, even though they are. That's what hospitality is. You treat people with respect. You treat people with dignity. That doesn't exist to you. The only person you want to be dignified is your fucking self. You selfish fucking bitch. Checking rooms, helping out front desk, and you're not doing a damn thing to be a manager. The only thing you're being is a fucking burden. At that point, I felt really disrespected. I felt like I really wanted to like hand my keys in. Did I have keys at the time? I don't think I had keys at that time. I really wanted to just give it up. I didn't know where I was going, but I wanted out of there. But I calmed myself down. I was like, you're making way more money than you were at Retail Afghanistan. Just calm down for a bit. So I have one more story I lied about. I only have 2 stories about FBK. I mean, I have a host of stories about FBK, but I'm only going to tell 3. This was earlier than the other 2 stories. This is right after she became the power tripping bitch she was. Or maybe she was already a conniving, vindictive, power tripping bitch. I don't fucking know. So we were having a meeting. I was the assistant general manager at this time. And she decided to ask me, you're in charge of housekeeping and front desk. What are you going to do about that? And I looked at her and I was like, what are you going to do about it? It took me a second to think about that. Excuse me, you're putting me over all this stuff and I don't even make a third of what you make? And you have the fucking audacity to ask me, what are you going to do about these 2 things? How about you as a general manager? You figure out what the fuck you're gonna do about it. You come up with a plan, you delegate to me that plan, and I'll come up with ways. But just to come at me like that, you're just relieving yourself of all this other pressure because you can't come to work on time. You've only had 1 lunch instead of 2. You can't even stay late. You can't even mentor people. All you can do is fire people. I swear she had more joy in firing people than actually hiring people to help out, adding to the problem instead of subtracting from the problem. So I asked her, what are you going to do about it? You put me over 2 departments. What exactly are you going to do? And that conversation was deaded right there. Like I said before, there's a lot more escapades of FBK. I might cover it later, but she left in October of 2023. And I took over as GM. As of November 2024, she's back. She's back as the GM of Hotel Eritrea. And we'll just see how it goes. I have a feeling it's not going to go so well, but hey. Alright, that was quite the emotional roller coaster. And that was only point number 1. Yay, we got 4 more to go. Alright, number 2. Hotel Eritrea itself. This building must have been built on a fucking Indian burial ground because it is fucking cursed. 85 guest rooms. Well, they want to make it 86, but I highly fucking doubt it. Because maybe there's only 1 or 2 rooms that are actually fucking worth saving in that fucking building. But that's beside the point. Hands down, it has to be one of the shittiest buildings I've ever seen. It has to be the shittiest hotel in Albany. Maybe even shittier than the motels in Albany. The plumbing is extremely bad. They've tried to shortcut everything they could do to fix the plumbing in that building. I heard one estimate said it will take approximately $100,000 to fix the plumbing of that shitty fucking building. The interior is bad. The exterior is bad. It's like if you take a pig, kill that motherfucker, and then put lipstick on that motherfucker. That's what you get. You put lipstick in a fucking coat. Guess what? It's a fucking pig. It's still a fucking pig, but now it has lipstick and a fucking coat on it. It's still pork. This building has so many issues with it. It has mold everywhere. The carpet needs to be replaced. Hell, you need to rip the fucking carpet out of that damn place. It has roaches everywhere, and I believe it's due to that wooded area that's around, or the mulch they're putting around the building, because mulch produces roaches. I don't think a lot of people know that, but roaches love fucking mulch. And every year you get like $5,000 fucking dollars of fucking mulch. Red fucking mulch that these roaches love to fucking stay in, and you're wondering why you have a roach problem. Because you're using mulch, you dumb piece of shit. Like I said, the carpet needs to be replaced. I don't know why a pet-friendly hotel would have carpet. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard. Rip all that damn carpet out. Replace it with LVT. It'll be easier for upkeep. It'll be a lot cheaper. The ownership. Cheapest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. The rental you're doing. Shitty. All you're doing is painting and replacing the fucking tubs. And the tubs, guess what? They're already rusting. They're already fucking rusting. Brand new fucking tubs. Instead of getting, fiberglass tubs or whatever, you get the same cheap ass metal tubs, and guess what? They're fucking rusting already. It's like you love repeating the same stupid shit and expecting different results. You fucking insane motherfuckers. That's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you're gonna get something different. Guess what, bitch? You're not. The crazy thing is, they put a lot of these issues on the maintenance person. The maintenance person can only do so much. Especially since y'all are too fucking cheap to get the man the damn tools that he fucking needs. I remember when I first got there, we had this one maintenance guy, and I believe this motherfucker had stole every last tool out of that maintenance shop. And we ain't got shit now. I've had to painstakingly reorder everything. Drills, wrenches, screwdrivers, nails, drywall screws, you name it, I probably had to reorder it. On top of that, the management company is like, oh, you're spending too much money on fucking supplies and shit. We don't have any fucking supplies. Then you want to complain when the guests have complaints about the fucking building upkeep. Oh yeah, and during this fucking reno, I have another fucking thing. During this fucking reno, they changed the paint for all the rooms in the building. How the fuck is the maintenance guy going to keep up with all of the maintenance if you're not gonna have an account with someone to get the fucking paint that they fucking need? It's a certain shade. You can't use any fucking shade. You have to use that shade. If I don't have an account to a certain painting company, I can't get the shit. The building's upkeep horribly. The equipment barely fucking works. I have washing machines breaking down all the time. Dryers breaking down all the time. Computers. I have one computer that's still using Vista at the front fucking desk. A computer using Vista. Not Windows 7, Vista. At the front fucking desk. Or was it Windows 7? Either way, it's terrible. My office computer was so bad. It took 3 minutes to open a 12 kilobyte PDF. I pretty much had to buy my own laptop. Oh, and don't beg for anything for this company. They won't give you a credit card or anything. No, they expect you to spend your own damn money or just do without. It's worse than the fucking school system at Abbott Elementary. I see why they went with the golf course. But that's spoilers if y'all don't want to get into that. Let's talk about the fire alarm. I've had, in 2024 alone, I had the fire alarm go off 3 times in a period of like a month and a half. The first time, some lady thought it was a great idea to put candles on top of the PTAC, which is that air conditioning unit that people claim is the GOAT on those Facebook or TikTok or whatever social media, whatever thing, device you use. They claim that to be the GOAT. Someone decided it was a great idea to put a candle on top of that. One of those Jesus candles or whatever. The motherfucker fell over and shot flames out the damn vent. It's crazy. I had a room out of order because it was on fire. I had to learn how to use a fire extinguisher really fast. Second time, an appliance from the kitchen had blew up. Refrigerator, it just burned out and it didn't cause an electrical fire. It just started smoking. And thirdly was, we have this reoccurring event. For some weird reason in Albany, Georgia, the fire alarm will go off if sprinkler water level gets too low. So it happens every year for some reason around March or April. No, sometimes even around February. March, February, April. One of those where the fire alarm will just go off. I try to explain to guests that, hey, this happens every year for some weird reason. It's because the water level in the sprinkler system gets too low, and you can just hear buildings from one end of the street to the other. Like this long boulevard we have in our town, you can hear alarms going off everywhere. Like there's alarms going off from the Big Lots, the Ollie's, Discount Tire right up the street from us. Just alarms going off. So pretty much all of our equipment's outdated. Have one ice machine that's working. All of our rooms are just so outdated and old looking. And instead of like, spending the money to be the best hotel in Albany, Georgia, they don't want to spend any money. They want to do a shitty renovation, a half-ass renovation, and they wonder why people do not want to stay there. One incident I do remember, I want to call it the shit flood of 2023, or the great flood of 2023, as I jokingly call it. The main line in our building had broke. The main line to the sewer had broke. We had several people come out to assess what was wrong with it. Then, for some weird reason, at the same time, the hot water had died in the entire building, so we had complaints about that. It all happened on the same day, as a matter of fact. It was a Saturday. I remember that Saturday. I had to go out to the building, make sure everybody was settling in fine, see if anybody could figure out what was going on with the hot water. They couldn't figure out what was going on with the hot water. I had got there around 8 a.m. I was off that day. No, actually, I had to work audit that night. So I got there around 8 a.m. Was it 8 about? No, about 10 a.m. to assess everything. FBK said, yeah, I'll be there. I'll be coming there and check in, whatever. The bitch never showed up. It was around 7 p.m. and I had left because I had to work that night from 11 to 7, and she never showed up. So I pretty much got 3 hours of sleep, came in, did the audit. It's just the amount of bullshit I went through because of this building. I wouldn't trust it. If anyone has to work at Hotel Eritrea or was given the opportunity to work at Hotel Eritrea, I will tell them fuck no. I will even tell my worst enemy, you do not want to work there. It's not a good environment. There's way better places to work. It's too much drama. I'll get into that. Matter of fact, number 3, the workers. The workers. Not all of them were bad. I got along with most of the people there. I mean, I was a manager, but majority of the workers are fine. Some of the people had their own issues. In the hotel industry, especially around there, it's like a revolving cast of characters. Someone that's worked at this hotel or at one hotel has probably worked at all of them. The biggest issues I've had at that hotel came from breakfast and housekeeping. Breakfast, I had some issues with some of the people that worked at breakfast. The issues I had with breakfast all stemmed from housekeeping. Found myself many a day doing housekeeping, doing breakfast. I mean, neither one of them are easy jobs. I don't prefer one over the other, but housekeeping, I have to say, was the craziest department I've had to deal with. Never in my life I've seen so many petty, entitled, victim-making, blaming, nasty, and just downright despicable people and actions. I've never seen that much from anything I've ever worked other than housekeeping. It just blows my mind that people would fight over a vacuum, cart, a board, linen, even a spray bottle. They would fight over this stuff, and like, none of this stuff is yours. You can't take it home with you. I had one incident where the people were fighting over a cart. They're not supposed to put their names on the cart, but they did it anyway. And the housekeeper's logic was to me, it was like, I like the way this one pushes. What the fuck am I supposed to do about that? But then again, the person that took the cart knew it would cause trouble. She knew if she took that cart, it would cause issues. And guess what she did? She went ahead and took that cart. Now I'm glad that particular person did not stick around, because she was a drama queen. And that's what housekeeping is full of. A bunch of drama queens. A lot of who's fucking who. In housekeeping, how can I put this? When the housekeeping supervisor is sleeping with one of the housekeepers. One of the housekeepers is like claiming they sleep with the manager. It's just a bunch of stupid, lying, and petty, it's dumb shit. Shit that doesn't even fucking matter. You people are arguing over. So much drama. So much picking on people. Very toxic environment. It's one of the reasons I don't ever want to work in the housekeeping department ever again. I think children, I think gang members from opposite gangs get along better than these people. Yeah, they say it's on site, but shit, it's on site with them too. It's crazy how they get along, how they get on, or the favoritism, and how I tell somebody, hey, you have to help these people out. You have to help these people out to get them out of here on time, because I have management on my back about times, and they don't lift a fucking finger. They'll look at you like, whatever. They'll Kanye shrug at you and just leave you to suffer. So you have to go up there. You have to fucking make the beds, get the supplies, do this, constantly check on these people, because these housekeepers act like fucking children. I'm babysitting grown motherfucking people. I shouldn't have to do that. I should be able to do my job, get all these fucking reports for these people who do not check their fucking email, go on about my day. But I can't do that because people are not doing their job. Do y'all know what the term popping sheets is? I'm gonna teach y'all something. Popping sheets means housekeepers not changing your bed sheets. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. Something you think that's common among, hotels. And I find myself finding these people that especially the fastest housekeepers, they would constantly pop sheets. It's not because we have a lack of sheets. It's because they don't want to be here. If you don't want to take care of our customers, why the fuck you have this job? Why are you in hospitality? It's like breakfast. I had a breakfast attendant that decided because management cut her hours, she's gonna come in late every damn day. I had to stop that shit. I said, no, you are not coming in here late every day. If I have to come in here at 5 o'clock every morning, the days that you work, you will not. You will fucking not. The guests, the customers, whatever you want to call them, they should not have to suffer because you're petty bullshit. So, what I started doing, I started coming in at 5 o'clock in the morning. I think she got the message and she never came back. And this is a person I've helped out several times, trying to look out for her. Like I learned at Retail Afghanistan the first time. You can't help people, certain people. You can try, you can listen to their story, you can do whatever you want. But some people you just can't help out. You do your best for them, and it's like here's my ass to kiss, fuck you. But like I said, there's really no teamwork. Certain ones get help. I just don't understand how housekeeping can be such a vitriolic, volatile environment. Just don't understand that. Just because the housekeeping supervisor is fucking one of the employees doesn't necessarily mean I'm only gonna help this person out and this person only. No, that's showing unprofessional bias. Pretty much a terminable offense. What I'm trying to say is, never in my life have I seen so many just stupidity. Oh, and laundry. Laundry is part of housekeeping. They say laundry is the heart of the hotel. Oh my god, if laundry was the heart of the hotel, it'd be blacker than fucking Vanta Black. Because good god, some of these laundry attendants, they think their shit don't stink. It's just displaying narcissistic tendencies. Because they think they know everything. They think they're hot shit. I understand, it's a very tough job. Laundry and housekeeping is a very tough job, but it should be teamwork. It ain't me work, it's teamwork. But there is no teamwork. You get a few people that want to click up and hey, let me help you out or whatever. But that quickly turns nasty when they start talking about other people. They'll start talking about other people, and then somebody gets hurt, somebody gets in their feelings, and at the end of the day, it's like babysitting children, elementary school children, grown-ass women in their 40s, acting like elementary school children because they're not getting nowhere, they're not getting their car, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. They're popping fucking sheets. They can't do their fucking job correctly. And it's not like I can just reach into a pool, grab like 30 or 40 housekeepers and get everything done. Not in this environment. Because it's just a revolving door of bullshit. A cesspool of nothingness, job-wise. Maybe they're out there, but they're probably at, the other hotels in that comp center area. Every September, there's Housekeeping Appreciation Week. I really didn't want to celebrate it, to be honest with you, because housekeeping has given me so much trouble. I mean, maybe that's selfish on me, but I really didn't think they deserved it. I really didn't want to celebrate Housekeeping Appreciation Week. Matter of fact, the management company, Bright Brain Management, instead of just doing a housekeeping week, it was the year before, I want to say, they wanted to do a Bright Brain Management Week and celebrate all the employees. I'm like, y'all are just a bunch of spin doctors. Y'all like to spin shit y'all way. Y'all want to fucking make up your own shit. Think you're doing something original, but you're just being a bunch of assholes. Before I became a GM, FBK, of course, was the GM. A lot of people were fired because of FBK. They didn't last, they quit because of FBK. Because she's such a demanding person. I don't think she realized how demanding she is. I remember one time, this really made me mad. I requested my girlfriend's birthday off. Coco, I'm sorry. I'm sorry again, I always apologize, but I am sorry. Please forgive me. I requested her birthday off. I made this request a month and a half in advance. It was granted to me. The person at the front desk had called out. So instead of FBK saying, you know what, I'm gonna take it upon myself to take on this shift. You know what she did? She called me in. She tried to call somebody else in. They said no. She ended up firing the person. She didn't even get any papers on them. She ended up firing the person that called out, which I understand that. But she fired another person that had nothing to do with it. She had no babysitter. It's not a good excuse for some people, but she had nothing to do with the other guy calling out, but she was made a casualty of it. If you were looking in her office right now, I don't know if she's got rid of it right now. That stack of papers was at least 1.5 feet tall. Maybe we took it via top of people's personal files, which she shouldn't even have because we went to electronic, of files of people who have been fired or let go. And it's just like a big ass file. My thing is, why didn't she do the damn 3 to 11 shift? She had to call me in. Then she wants to complain that I have all this fucking overtime. Logic does not make any sense to Hotel Eritrea. There is no logic in this place. There is no logic in Bright Brain Management, but we're gonna see that a little bit. There are a lot of instances where like I would come into work, leave for a couple days, come back, and like I would ask, hey, where's this person at? Oh, they got fired. Oh, okay. And it'll be a common occurrence. It'll be like, okay, whatever. Or, hey, where's this person at? Oh, they never showed back up. Oh, okay. It was just a lot of that. A lot of people just cold quitting, not even giving any notice, just Irish goodbyes, and a very turbulent workplace. A lot of people I thought I could trust, like this one guy that he would come to work. I knew he had enough of the job, but like the thing is, like even though that I knew he was gonna quit, I knew the guy was gonna quit, he fucking blocked my number. And I'm like, dude, I wasn't even gonna snitch on you. I wasn't even gonna tell on you that you quit or whatever. You ain't had to block me. I was gonna call you back here. I know how much hell this place is. You know, I felt some sort of way about that. But he did introduce me to like one of the YouTube channels I currently watch a lot of. I think his name is Joe something. I can't remember what his name is, but it's pretty funny. During my time as GM, I probably would have stayed, but I had the main pieces. I had the maintenance guy. I had the facilities manager. I had the front desk manager. It's just like, and the front desk staff for the most part. It was just everybody else that was just like questionable. The fourth reason, his name rhymes with piss. There's only a few names you can think of that rhyme with piss, so I think y'all should be able to figure out this guy's name. And this fourth point leads into 5, so I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. Rhymes with Piss was a weird person. He was my boss's boss before my boss became my boss. It's sort of weird to explain, but I think in part 5 you'll get it easier, the 5th thing. You ever met a person with a very uneasy vibe? You go around them and it's like, just something's off about this motherfucker. Like, I can tell he's a serial killer, or I can tell he beats his wife, or I can tell he puts kittens down the sewer. That's the kind of vibe Rhymes with Piss gave me. He was just not to be trusted. He had this stupid smile and laugh. He was a know-it-all. And not only that, he looked like Steve from American Dad, but grown up with a bald head. The only way to describe this man is... I'll probably need some help from Christian Cage describing him.
He's a piece of shit.
Thank you. I also found out he competes in bodybuilding competitions, which I'm not like opposed to. He's a bit past 50, so I'm thinking he has some enhancement going on. Like maybe he's on the gas. He probably is on the gas, if you know what I mean. Know what I'm saying? But I just noticed he has very quick mood changes, and that's one of the symptoms of being on gas. If you get what I'm trying to say. I still don't have any proof if he was ever on the gas. Am I talking about weed or kush? I don't have any proof of that, so it's just all alleged. Behind the scenes, he believed in his heart of hearts that FBK was doing everything. I could tell he didn't like me. He would often ask what was my purpose at the hotel. And the crazy thing is, he or FBK never really told me what my job was. For a period of time that I was really confused about because I had no idea what this meant, I was a facilities manager. And I'm like, what the fuck is a facilities manager? So I had to look it up. It's one who manages the facilities. So, okay. So I managed the facility. I tried my best to manage the facility. I would go into rooms. We had a maintenance guy, but you know how maintenance guys are. The real good ones could be working somewhere else, making $30 or $40 an hour, because pretty much a really good maintenance person is a contractor, because you have to know drywall, you have to know how to use a drill, all these type of things. You have to know electrical, you have to know how to fix a P-tack. All these things you have to know, and you're making a third of what a contractor would make. Maybe even less than that. The majority of the maintenance people I see in the South, they look like they do drugs. And I'm not saying that everyone does drugs or everyone's on some sort of substance or whatever, but they look like they do some type of substance, whether it be alcohol or something heavier. I'm not talking about anything gateway. Oh, no. I'm talking about fucking... Oof. I didn't realize I had check rooms until like they made it apparent I had check rooms. So what I would do while I would check rooms is I'd have this notebook binder. I would outline all the problems that I saw in the room, take pictures, do all this stuff, try to come up with a plan so these issues could be fixed. I'd actually go into the out of order rooms, because we had a few out of order rooms, not too many like we had before I left. I'd go into the outer order rooms, take pictures, and see what the rooms need, see what kind of items we would have. I would have to cross-reference the items to, like, finding them on the internet or what have you. And I would keep all this stuff in a notebook. I've actually made several PDFs and several fucking profiles for the rooms, where to get the materials at, all this stuff. But all of it came to naught, because apparently I wasn't doing a good enough job. So I also did front desk when we switched from one PMS, when we switched from one PMS to another PMS, I would have to learn both of them. I learned the previous one and the other one. I actually taught a lot to FBK about our previous operating system. I did a lot of things that FBK nor Round Food Piss would notice. I was like I would say the unsung hero of the hotel. I would do a lot of things and I would never get recognition for it. I never wanted recognition for it. I just wanted someone to say, hey, he's doing a pretty good job. Let's give him a chance. But no, here's what happened. What happened was I would rack up so much overtime. And it's not because I wanted to stay, it's because no one was willing to step up to do the damn job. Like I said, FBK had a lot of people who would quit under our watch. I remember one time I had to do 7 to 3, come back, do audit, stay all the way from 7 to 3, get off from the 3-11 shift, come back at 11 p.m., and then do it all over again. They would ask, why is this happening? What's going on? Are you greedy? Are you just taking all the shifts? Like, no one wants to step up. FBK's not gonna step up. Why the hell are you questioning me all the time about me doing my damn job? Because I don't see your ass up here. You only come up here like once a fucking month. FBK probably comes to the job 2 or 3 times a week. When she's supposed to be here every fucking day. Well, Monday through Friday, every damn day. Have every weekend off. Someone's gonna run on it. Someone's gonna run the 7 to 3 shift. Sometimes I have to run both. And it got to the point where, like, I remember one time I had like 50 hours of overtime in one damn week. 1 week! I had 80 hours of overtime on a damn check. And like, oh, this is too much overtime. We're not gonna pay this. I'm like, motherfucker, y'all gotta pay that goddamn money. Your general manager, she's not doing her fucking job. She's sitting on her damn phone, I don't know, ordering Chipotle or some fucking shit. I'm over here busting my fucking ass. It got to the point where I would get so much overtime. FBK tried to get me a raise, which was one of the nice things she's done. She tried to get me a raise, and they took it back. I was like, why they took it back? She's like, well, they took it back because you had so much overtime. I'm like, okay, that's fucking nice. I should have quit right there. I really wanted to find out where the hell their offices was. I'd probably drive up there and finally get my raise, but then my raise was for naught because I actually got salary, which I made a lot more money, so I was happy with that. That's what I wanted, and that's the job I should have kept. I don't know why I went to GM, but I saw where I could make a difference, and I tried to make a difference, and I failed at it, but we'll get to that in a second. Then I got the write-up. What FBK would have me do as a front desk manager, which is crazy. I'm thinking about it now. I got written up for doing my job and FBK's job, but it was the summer of 2023, and our hotel was getting so many complaints. We have so many complaints. Complaints about the pool, complaints about the water, complaints about the carpet, complaints about billing. You name the complaints, we would get the complaints. We had somebody that was probably high out of their mind on the desk. They switched up cards because the last names were similar. We looked at the last names, they were not even close. It was just somebody not paying attention. And this is one of the people that quit and then was hired back, and I don't know. She was an airhead. That's all I wanted to say. She was an airhead. All the hotel guests love her because she was cute or whatever, but whatever. She didn't like polls. We had so many complaints. What FBK would do, she would not let any of us handle any billing issues or anything. So what we would do, we would get the folio and we would tape it to our door. That's what she would instruct us. She would not let us distribute any points. She would not let us do any refunds, any percentages off, none of that stuff. She would handle it. But we all know FBK was barely at the hotel. She was only at the hotel, I would say, maybe 3 days out of 5 days of the week. And sometimes she would just take entire just weeks off. I mean, she would come back and she'd have like a shitload of fucking papers just taped to her door from top to bottom. Papers in her office. Papers in her box. And then Ron Blue Piss would see this and he would get mad. It's like, why is he doing anything about it? Instead of taking it up for me, she disagreed with him. And then wrote me up. I signed it with red ink. Because I was really pissed. I didn't want to sign it in no blue ink. I don't want to sign it in black ink. I want to sign it in red ink. Because the motherfucker was wrong. I told the story to my girlfriend and she's like, why did you stay? Why did I stay? Because I had to pay the bills. And this is the only job I could get at this time. You know, I was filling out applications and stuff. Nothing bit. So pretty much we couldn't do anything without her approval. This really handicapped everybody at the front desk. Nobody at the front desk had any power whatsoever to do anything, to justify any of the issues that was at check-in or housekeeping issues in the room or what have you. Really made our scores go down. I mean our scores are really shitty anyway, but they're worse now. So Ralph was pissed, called FBK and told her either she needs to write me up or he's gonna write her up. So she wrote me up. Like I said, I signed in the red ink. I was really pissed off about it. I was not happy about it. We'll fast forward a few months when FBK had finally had enough of the company. She wanted to leave the company. Rhymes was pissed. He came to the hotel, saw that FBK wasn't there. He saw me there. He saw me doing her job, taking control of the hotel. Saw me cleaning the pool and instructing people what to do. And then he had the audacity to ask me, well, if you knew she was doing all this stuff, why did you put up with it for so long? It's simple. She would fire me. That's why. She fired everybody else that went against her power. She power tripped so badly, I was scared. I was afraid to lose my job. And my job is my only source of income. I can't sell magic cards for a fucking living. I would never make any damn money. It was the only source of income I knew that was guaranteed. He knows a lot of things I was doing that he didn't really consider what I was doing. Because one, he was never on there. You know, data can only tell you so much. Data doesn't show you what's going on behind the scenes. You can look at numbers all you want to. To actually watch stuff and experience stuff is the only way you can truly see the story behind the numbers. The numbers say one thing. It's like any sport you can think of. You see the numbers, you see the stats like, oh, this person, you know, he went, he's 20, 10, and 8 or whatever. Yeah, he's doing excellent. But you know, what about the people that fed into that? Is it him by himself that's doing this? Did he have help doing this? Was the other team garbage while he was doing this? It's about as credible as like hitting 60 home runs at Yankee Stadium. I mean, hitting a home run is hard on any level. Numbers only paint part of the picture. If you derive your system solely based on numbers, it can have flaws. It's like when people say the numbers don't lie, except when Scott Steiner said it because his numbers tell the truth. When they say the numbers don't lie, they do lie. That's beside the point. That's another theory I don't want to get into. But he knows I was doing a lot of things that he didn't know because the numbers didn't say that. From what the numbers said, it said FBK was doing everything. FBK was doing this and doing that. And that was the farthest thing from the truth. She was barely doing anything. She was barely coming to work towards the end. She was barely doing a lot of things. For people, that's what happens when people think they know every goddamn thing and don't know shit at all. It was coming close to the end of FBK's tenure. I did express interest for the job. Rhymes was pissed. He would ask me, he would give me this interview over the phone. Like, what would you do differently than FBK? And the first thing I said was I'd actually come to work. The second thing I said was like I'd actually have meetings with my staff. He said something that was really crazy, something I didn't understand. I expressed I want to have a department head meeting every week. Oh, you can't have one of those of just too many chiefs. It's like too many chiefs. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, my guy? If you have people express what's going on with the department, what the needs of the department are, what groups we have coming in, and different things like that, that way they can express to their team what's expected of them, or I can order what we need for the hotel instead of just being like completely lost. So after I got the job, he wanted to do one of those weird brand tests. I only was in the manager position for, I would say, about 2 weeks, and he wanted to do a brand test. He wanted to do a damn brand test. So of course we failed that motherfucker. Not even 2 weeks after that, we had the actual test by the brand. For those who don't know, a brand test is pretty much just making sure that the hotel's up to par with brand standards, having the correct literature, front desk knowing all the reward programs and all that stuff, making sure there's the right number of pillows and towels in particular rooms, if we have the right brand of pillows, because you can't be too cheap. And I try to explain this to people. You can't be too cheap when it comes to the fucking brand. But of course, people don't want to listen. They know everything. So guess what? We actually passed that fucking test. Mr. Rhymes with Piss was like wondering, well, how the hell did you pass the brand test if you can't even pass my test? Because you're a fucking ingrained idiot. You cheap piece of shit. You're know-it-all Steve from American Dad looking self. You're a fucking idiot. Your goofy ass looking teeth. it was really weird that we passed the test. I mean, I was surprised. I was pleasantly. I mean, it wasn't a bad surprise. I was just pleasantly surprised. Like, we passed the test, but we failed bright brain management test. Very interesting. And the crazy part was, 2 weeks later, after that, Rounds was pissed. He just suddenly resigned. And that brings me to my last point. Bright brain management. Number 5. And probably the most prominent reason I left that place. I left Hotel Eritrea because this management company, hands down, has to be the worst. Has to be one of the worst companies. I've only worked for 2 companies in my life, but has to be the worst of the 2 companies I worked for. I worked for Retail Afghanistan. They're pretty bad. But this company, ooh-wee, they treat me like shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Hands down, this has to be some of the most unprofessional, hypocritical, rude, asinine, illogical oligarchy of management professionals I've ever had worked with. Hands down, easily. They're just so cheap and unreasonable. They're perfectly fine with breaking health and safety codes. They didn't give a shit. They're like OSHA. Who the hell is that? Rounds with Piss told me one of the words he told me right when I was taking over the hotel. A hotel is an investment, and don't think it's anything other than that. That means y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all don't give a fuck about these guests. Y'all don't give a fuck about shortcutting anything. Y'all just don't give a fuck. The only thing y'all give a fuck for is making a profit for your investors. By the way, that investment, this $10 million investment you'll say I'm in charge of, it has a $100,000 plumbing problem. It's going through a half-ass renovation where I have like about 50% of my rooms out of order, so I won't be able to make any profit or anything because the renovation's going so shittily. And you can barely call a renovation. It's just replacing tubs and fucking paint. And the tubs that you're replacing are rusting already. They're not even fucking scraping the old paint off the damn walls. They're not even sanding the paint away. They're just painting over it. It looks terrible. One thing I don't get about this management company is the communication. You can send emails, you can call, you can do all these shits. And still, they'll ask you the same fucking question 20 fucking times. I need a list of the rooms that are out of order and the reason they're out of order. I send the information at least 30 times a month. Actually, more than that. Yeah, at least 30 times a month. 30 to 31 times a month. According to the month. Whatever month it's in, that's how often they get the information. I need a list of rooms that are out of order. Didn't I just send you that information last night? For my end of day? When I wrote my end of day, it's the same fucking shit every fucking day. They want me to explain everything I do in a day, like I don't do any damn thing. Like I sit in my office and do shit. I sit in my office, eat Chipotle, and fucking do nothing. I don't work on chargebacks, or I don't do this, I don't do that. I don't do anything. And I would send this information over and fucking over and fucking over again. People would ask this information. Ask about this information. They ask for the tax exempt forms. They ask for this. They ask for that. When they have access to the same shit I'm fucking seeing, they can pull the fucking shit up. It's like they've never heard of scrolling up. They have never heard of the Control F function for those who use Windows. I don't even know what it is on Mac or iBook or whatever the fuck it is. It's like they don't know how to look for shit themselves. Like, I make way too much money to look for this shit myself. I have a monkey who can do it. Let me ask him. Well, while this half-ass renovation is going on in my hotel, there's another hotel that's getting a full-blown renovation in Atlanta. Well, mine's getting a half renovation. Thinking, why the hell am I not getting a renovation? You would think that all the money this hotel's made last year, you can't even give me a renovation for this hotel? This shitty ass hotel. You see the reviews. You claim the president of the company reads the reviews, and he doesn't see the review. He obviously is not looking at the reviews. He's not obviously not looking at them. He's just glancing at them like whatever. He's not looking at reviews. He's not looking at them. I'm looking at the reviews. I see how my name's tied to reviews or whatever. I see how my reputation's on the fucking line. They're not reputation on the fucking line because they don't have to deal with the damn shit. So while this hotel in Atlanta is getting a full-blown renovation, I'm still struggling to get TVs, microwaves, P-Tax, whatever you need to make these rooms come back into order. And I keep begging for this stuff. But, of course, it said, no, you're just going to have to deal with what you have. Like I said, this is like Abbott Elementary was a hotel. This will be that school district. That school district they live in, where they say, oh, it looks miserable. That's perfectly fine. That's what it is. There is no hope. There is no development. There's nothing. It's terrible. While the renovation's going on, I have my bosses complaining to me about labor. They say labor is the reason why your hotel is not turning a profit. If labor was the issue, actually, if this hotel was renovated fully, if it was fully renovated, it was sparkling, it was shiny, it was new, you rip out that goddamn carpet instead of being a bunch of cheap asses, I wouldn't even have to worry about labor. If the housekeepers would spend less time on cleaning these shitty ass rooms that y'all claim are A1 or fucking Chick-fil-A of the fucking hotels, when you're actually fucking Crystals, or even something worse than that. I don't know what's worse than Crystals. Del Taco? Fuck, I don't fucking know. I don't really Taco Bell, whatever. Chick-fil-A even isn't even gourmet. I used to hate what FBK said. We're the Chick-fil-A of hotels. No, the fuck we're not. My pleasure, my ass. That's what the fuck it is. I'm fucking too angry to really talk, because this is bringing this shit back up just makes me fucking livid. My boss wants to complain about labor, about my labor being too high, maids minutes, and all this other stuff. If the hotel was clean instead of a piece of shit, maybe we wouldn't have take so much damn time to like clean these rooms. Instead, we got construction workers. We got some of the nastiest fucking guests I've ever seen. Like construction workers. I'm not saying that they're dirty or whatever. It's just, we have Georgia clay. Something called Georgia clay. It's a red ass clay. You get people working in that shit, or working on trains smelling like diesel and all this other shit. You get the lowest of the low, and they're paying like corporate lodging rates or whatever. So you're barely making any money on that. And they leave the rooms messy as shit, so you gotta clean up that shit. It's gonna take you a good 45 to an hour to clean that damn room. Not saying that's the case with everybody, but that's a good portion of it. Our laundry equipment is shitty, waiting on laundry. Not to mention all the other stuff that's going on. Maybe some hotel drama or some fucking shit. I don't know. You add all that shit together, there's your fucking labor. I don't see how extra $40 is gonna hurt anybody. If the margins were that low, we'd be at retail Afghanistan. Let me be honest with you. Then breakfast. I lost 2 breakfast attendants because of $20. They're making X amount of dollars per hour, and just because it takes an hour to prep, after prepping, after breakfast lasts for like 3 hours. After breakfast, you have to clean up everything. Then you're supposed to sanitize everything. This man said you gotta be out of there within 30 minutes. 30 minutes is not enough to use quaternary sanitizer to sanitize everything. So obviously you don't give a shit about the guest's health. Obviously don't give a fuck about that. You talk about you worked in the hotel industry, not the restaurant industry or something. Quaternary sanitizer need to sit up for, I don't know, like an hour. And it's got to be at a particular temperature. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but that hotel has hot water issues. It takes at least 30 minutes for that water to heat up to the correct temperature in order for the quaternary sanitizer to be used. I'm begging for hot water. I'm begging for new ice machines. I'm begging for all these damn things. And the constant answer I get is no. I'm told no more than a child that wants a piece of gum and a candy store by a parent that's against sugar. That's how often I'm told no. No, you can't have this. Your hotel doesn't make enough. No, you can't have a houseman because that's the fucking facilities manager's job. No, you can't have this. No, you can't have that. No. Nobody won't look at your job performance because, you don't fucking deserve it. It's just a bunch of fucking no's. That's all I'm fucking getting. No's. And I'm not talking about the thing on the end of your face. At this time, I also get a new boss. I have to worry about the owner, who comes there randomly, whenever he comes. Just comes there randomly, takes pictures, reports it back to my boss. Then I have another boss, who's the RD, the regional director or whatever. So I have 3 bosses to answer to. Also the president of the company. So it's like a 4-headed Hydra, and you don't know which Hydra's gonna try to strike you first. One of the Hydra's heads is like sort of friendly, and the other 3 are like whatever, die. They try to override each other, they fight over each other, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. It's just too many heads to answer to. You know, at Retail Afghanistan, I only have 2 people to answer to. One's my boss, and the other one's the DM, and I rarely see him. He'll call me occasionally if there's an issue. It's not like I'm constantly being hounded. I don't have to actually sleep by my phone at night. I don't have to worry about getting calls 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Say, hey, the breakfast person's called out. Or, hey, why is this report not in? Or, hey, screw you. Or, hey, just fucking die. I don't get those calls anymore. What I was saying was, I get a new boss, or whatever, and he's immediately, he says he's trying, he's gonna, do some laissez-faire, watch stuff happen, but he immediately starts making changes. It's just leave it to those types of people just to immediately start making changes. Yeah, he just started making changes. Like, I had one guy, I let him work 3 to 7 so he could help out, not only check people in, not only do like cookies and stuff like that. I had him, take care of the pool, take care of the houseman work, and even if you have a houseman during the day, he comes in at 9 o'clock and leaves at 2 o'clock. And when you're told you're not allowed to have a houseman, you have a maintenance guy doing all the houseman work. What kind of work is the maintenance guy getting in? He can't get in. He can't get into the rooms. He can't do none of that. It's just a bunch of he says, she says that doesn't make any fucking sense. The numbers don't make sense. They want people to do multiple jobs and not pay them for it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it for anybody to endure that kind of stuff. Pretty much he told me I was overstaffed for the day. He wanted me to send that guy home. I was not pleased about that. I was really angry. I was really, really angry about that. And it inadvertently made me want to quit because something that would happen in that time span between him taking over as the regional director and one, it's just too many bosses for me. We'll get into that. Like I mentioned the pool. I fucking hate the pool, and that would also lead to me leaving this fuck ass job. The accountant controller. Oh my god. Now I love this person to death. I think she's cool. I think she's overworked. I know she's overworked. She pretty much has to pay all the bills. And there's been a lot of times, a lot of my bills go unpaid. My franchising fees go unpaid. The U.S. foods for my breakfast foods goes unpaid. Vistar for my pantry goods goes unpaid. A lot of the bills go unpaid. Even the pool supplies, which will go into another reason I'm no longer with the company. Even the utilities goes unpaid. Utilities, plumbing companies, you name it. We have such a bad rep among local repair shops. The services have to be paid on completion. That's how much they don't pay their bills. That also leads into why I've been sued 6 times. I've been sued 6 times. 6 fucking times. I've never been sued in my fucking life until I got to this hotel. And it's not like I literally got sued. I just been served. And I've been served because I was the representative of the company. I actually asked the sheriff one time, hey, am I getting arrested? Like, no, you're not getting arrested. We're just serving you. I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess. Remember when I told you the main line I have wrote? This dumbass owner, he thought the renovation guy can also eat a dick, but he thought the renovation guy had completed the work. He didn't complete the work. And my thing is, why didn't the renovation guy admit that he had nothing to do with completing the fixing of the main drain? I literally saw Roto-Rooter go into the building with a camera, take a picture of that main line drain, and then go fix it. They repaired it. They actually chopped up the floor in front of the elevator, and they repaired the main line. And we never had that problem again. It wasn't a renovation, guys. No, they had nothing to do with that. They had nothing to do with that. And the owner was just stupid enough to think, because he's barely there, he was stupid enough to think the renovations guy did it. Roto-Rooter had nothing to do with it. So like I said, I did have a regional director or whatever. He became the final boss, I would say. Not the Rock final boss, but you know. He became the boss, my direct boss, because there was the other boss that was my boss before, because that took over Rant and Piss's job. Let me go into the part where, like, getting close to the denouement. I think that's the correct term. I don't speak French. I saw it on Wishbone one time. They were talking about the denouement. I'm like, all these things, the swirling pile of shit will lead to October 2024. It's a Thursday, and usually on Thursdays I have my sales meeting with the sales company. We have a third-party sales company that we're using to, like, you know, increase sales. Right before the sales meeting had started, I get a call from Ryan Piss's assistant, which is my former boss. He states that, instead of that menacing tone, like, can you tell me what color the pool is? It's green. I haven't had a chance to clean it. Can you tell me why your pool is green? Yeah, I haven't had a chance to clean it. He's like, well, you better go in there and pour chemicals in it right now, because the president of the company is coming to Albany. President of the company? It's 3 o'clock. Why the hell would he be on the way here? That's my first red flag. Why the hell would he be on the way here? When y'all are stationed in Atlanta, you think you're going to drive all the way to Albany from Atlanta just to see a goddamn pool? I knew it was some bullshit behind it. I didn't want to take that chance. So I immediately started cleaning the pool. I didn't have any chemicals, because usually my maintenance guy usually takes care of the pool. And guess what? Guess where he was? He was on something I never get to go on. Vacation. He was on vacation. And the week before, we had a hurricane. So why the hell would I waste my damn company chemicals or my fucking time cleaning a damn pool? You know, didn't really deserve to be cleaned. I mean, it's also like close to the end of the month. It was the beginning of the month, so I had reports to do. I had a lot of reports to do, and month reports to do from September. I had a lot of stuff to fucking do. And I was on a sales call, so during the sales call, I had to fucking clean up the damn pool. After I got off the sales call, I immediately went to the pool chemical company. I didn't want to take any chances, and I started dumping chemicals into the damn pool. I was feeling a lot of stress at this time too. So it turns out the president of the company, he never did show up. I sort of figured he wasn't. Why the fuck did he waste his time on little fucking Hotel Eritrea when he has, like, other properties that he makes like 3 times the amount of money that we make? Next morning, I'd have to do breakfast because I didn't have a breakfast attendant. At 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm at the job. I'm cleaning up tables or whatever, you know, doing breakfast attendant things. I get a call. That's my other boss. So what I have a feeling is the owner, he didn't even go to my actual boss. He went to the person above him and told him about it. He's not even following the chain of command. In a business, you have chain of command. You go, if you're a low level employee, you go to the next highest boss, and the next highest boss is supposed to do something about it. And they don't do anything about it, you go to that boss. He disrupted the complete chain of command. I mean, he's the owner and everything, but still a fucking idiot that doesn't know anything about hotels. And then even if he did, I mean, it's just pretty much base asinine bullshit. He doesn't know anything about customer service and none of that shit. That's just my theories and stuff. He gives me a call. These are words that will, like, fucking live in infamy, as they would say. Pool went from green to, like, you know, blue. It wasn't clear, but it was blue, and I had to go back to the pool company and get some more chemicals to make sure it was clear. Oh, did I mention? I forgot to mention this. 1, it was the beginning of October. 2, we didn't have a permit for the pool. And 3, it was a decision made by me and Bright Brain Management Company to close this pool because it was out of season. So why the fuck do we need to keep this pool clean? We're wasting money on chemicals. And guess where that goes? Into the profit line. So you want me to waste money on that shit? And another thing, I forgot to mention this. Rhymes with Piss's replacement was supposed to get a pool company to look after the pool. He never did do that. I recommended him 3 names that he could go and get somebody to look after the pool, and nothing. That falls on him. A pool that no one was swimming in. I get a call about it that morning. Like I said, he mentioned these words that will live on in infamy. He said, "If it happens again, you're gone." You know those action movies, when you're watching the hero, the good guy, or the protagonist, he's going ham. I mean, he is just gunning people down, slaughtering people, killing people or whatever. And then one of the bad guys, or maybe even the main bad guy, he goes up to the fucking protagonist and just shoots him or stabs him or blasts him with energy or some crazy ass shit like that. And he keeps fighting and then he just suddenly dies. That's why the fuck I felt. So later that day, I had to go to Sam's Club. I had to pick up some things for breakfast because we were out of certain things. I called my mentor at Retail Afghanistan. Turned out she was not doing so well herself. She didn't have a good freight manager. The crazy part was before I left to be a store manager, that was the position I had. I did feel sort of bad because I did leave her to become my own manager. I didn't even last that long as a manager. We had a good conversation for a while. She talked about a few things. One thing she told me, and it made me think. She said, "If you're feeling disrespected and underappreciated, it doesn't matter how much money is thrown in your direction. If you are doing the best you can and they can't see that, maybe it's time to leave." I literally marinated on those words for that weekend. I don't know if that was long enough for me to think about it. A long enough time for me to think about it. It was no matter what I did. I was at Friday Night Magic. I was in bed thinking. I was driving. Those words just kept replaying in my head. It was followed by, "You're gone." All these thoughts, along with negative thoughts, like, for instance, I thought about the pains that I would constantly have in my chest, like my chest was about to explode. I thought about the constant calls. I would constantly get called. Like, it was no matter what. It was just like, I would tell my people, "Yeah, if you have a question, please call me." And then I'd come back and there would be like a whole bunch of mess. I told people to call me if they had a question about it, and they would never call me. That bothered me too. I thought about working 6 days. I've worked 6 days since 3 years straight. 6 days for about 3 years straight. It wasn't until April of last year I broke that streak. It was a lot going on. I thought about my finances and if I would be good. If I would go anywhere else, I'd probably be taking a major pay cut, which I did take a major pay cut to be where I'm at right now. I took my time and I thought about it. I knew if I took that much time to think about it and there was like nothing good from the answers I was getting, it was time to go. I'm done. So I called my siblings, got their blessings. One of them my sister, she took upon herself to write me and go ahead and like, "Yeah, I'll write you a letter of resignation right now." I'm like, oh wow, you are really on board with this shit. My brother gave me some encouraging words, and same thing with my sister. She said, "If you need anything, just let me know." And like, I'm really thankful for them. During our childhood, we really didn't get along that well, but like in adulthood, we're like, I'm glad we actually saw eye to eye. It's just sometimes like siblings don't. I'm just really glad we are really unified. Not a lot of people could say that I'm blessed to have siblings that I can talk to. I can pick up the phone and call if I have an issue, or if I have anything going on, I can talk to them. Even though sometimes I do remain quiet or distant, or let my girlfriend know. She's always been so supportive. Thank you, Coco. I love you. She's always been supportive of anything I do, and I've been supportive of her situations and her decisions, whatever she may decide, as long as it's not hurting or killing anybody. That's with everybody. So after I put in this 13-hour day, since I was there from 5 a.m. to about 6 a.m., I went ahead and did my end of day, submitted it, and right after that submitted my letter of resignation. Went over to my girlfriend's house so I can, further explain what was going on. I get a call from Rant for Piss's replacement. And he said, "Why you're leaving?" He said, I got too much going on. I pretty much skirted around what I really wanted to say because it was his words that pretty much was the final straw. You ever had the feeling that someone may say something, but you feel like they were forced to say it? That's one of the conspiracy theories I've had. I talked with a couple other people about my situation. That's what they came up with, because Bright Brain management has a weird way of getting rid of people. They'll force them to resign, and I use resign in the air quotes because, be honest with you, I think they were fired. They were gotten rid of. I have a feeling that he was forced to say that. He was forced to say I would be gone. So my boss, the RD, he didn't even mention that he knew I was leaving until a couple of days from then. I think it was a Wednesday he had mentioned that. And then he asked me the same question, why am I leaving? And then I told him X and X situation. Same thing with HR. She wanted me to go on vacation. Actually, a couple of people mentioned I should go on vacation, and I'm like, yeah, if I go on vacation, I'll still have the same issues I have now. Go on vacation won't make them magically disappear. Which is one of the reasons I understand why people want to go on vacation, but if you work a job like that, a vacation will not make the issues you have with that job magically disappear. It's just like putting a band-aid on a cut that never heals. You're adding the Neosporin or the antibiotic, and that cut just gets worse. So you need medical attention to extract disease or whatever, what have you. They told me all these different solutions that they had for making me stay. The one solution they didn't tell me? They didn't even offer one time to give me a pay raise. Not one fucking time. And I know the majority of the GMs there were making way more money than I was. Hell, FBK, before she left, she was making around 13 more racks than I was. She was making a lot of money. That sounds a bit greedy, but I know my fucking worth. Yeah, I know my worth, and I'm working at Retail Afghanistan right now, but that's not the point. If you're gonna stress me out, at least make it worth the time in my wallet. I don't feel so stressed out when it comes to Retail Afghanistan, to be honest with you. Right now, I don't. I mean, if I were to get my own store, yes, I would feel it again, but right now, as a freight manager, no, I don't feel it. I actually have people I can trust, for the most part. Well, at least I think I can trust them. But from day one, when I saw how much FBK was getting paid and compared to how much I was getting paid, I did feel slighted because I know I'd put in more work than she would. I know I have to prove myself, but coming into that job and actually, doing her job for her, doing her job better than she did her job, only getting paid a fraction of what she was getting paid, I'd feel slighted. I was supposed to meet up with the RD. We were supposed to collaborate so he can learn how to run the hotel, get it ready to go. So the first week he got there, something had happened to one of his family members, and then he had to immediately go home. The next week he got there, supposed to be my last week, one of the other managers from one of the hotels in Atlanta just straight up quit. And I'm not talking about they had put their 2 weeks notice in and they left on good terms. I know, I'm talking about this motherfucker straight up flat out quit. He left, didn't tell anybody, didn't tell his staff, and he did this shit during payroll week. Payroll week, y'all. So, not only didn't he give a fuck about his employees getting paid, he didn't give a fuck if he got paid. And mind you, this is a nice property. This is in Jackson, Georgia, I want to say. It was a nice property in Jackson, Georgia, near Atlanta. And he straight up quit. And it's a nicer hotel. I mean, it probably didn't even need a renovation. Probably had a lot more stuff than I have in my hotel, which is stripped down, naked. Crazy part was that he and the RD, when I was at this summit they had in March, was it March? Yeah, they had a summit in March. They were buddy-buddy. They were good friends. And he just up and left and didn't tell anybody anything. It's crazy how people get these jobs or just quit out of nowhere. Not only that, but one of the other GMs, I think one of the parents got sick, so they already had to take care of that hotel as well. He was between a rock and a hard place. This was my last week, and he came to me and he wanted a favor. And I'm like, what do you want? Well, I didn't say that. I was like, what's the favor? He said, I need you to stay 30 more days. I'm like, you out your fucking mind. He said, I'll give you some monetary compensation if you would just please just stay. Just stay for like a month longer. I said, well, I had to think about this. I told him, can I have a moment to think about this? A few hours maybe to think about this? Because he was in the middle of doing payroll for that one property, that poor property that they didn't, do their payroll. Let me think about this and let me get back to you. Because pretty much after he was done with that payroll at that go back to Atlanta. So I thought about it. I had to think about if I had an exit strategy, which I really didn't have. I had one out. I decided, okay, I could stay till the 30th of October. The 30th of October will be my last day. That's probably the happiest and most joyful I've ever seen this man. Because he was like on the moon. He was like, thank you so much. I'm like, yeah, you're welcome. I'm still leaving, but you're welcome. So yeah, went back to Atlanta. I was there for 2 more weeks. That was almost the end of the rest of my time. One last thing that happened that proved I was on my way out was we have this thing called a monthly P&L. A P&L is a profit loss meeting, report, what have you. It would show how much your hotel made, how much your hotel spent, and how much profit you made. While the controller was reviewing the data, she asked this question, which really pissed me off. She asked, I know your hotel's going under renovation, but why is your revenue so low? Because, bitch, you just answered your own fucking question. I'm undergoing renovation. Fuck. Half my rooms are out of fucking order. And the renovation was going so shittily, I got blamed. I got a story for you. So the guy that was over the renovation, for the reason the renovation was going so shitty, he said, oh, I'm holding rooms for them from preventing them from getting into the damn rooms. Well, I'm in a fucking hotel. I have to sell rooms. If I don't fucking sell rooms, I mean, I'm already out of here, but shit, I at least want to damn sell some fucking rooms. I can't help if your fucking people are not working fast enough or are not even skilled enough to put a lock back on a fucking door correctly. Or, I don't know, paint a room fucking correctly. Or, I don't know, install a fucking shower correctly, and you're in a fucking renovation business. It's not my fucking fault. Maybe if you were there supervising these motherfuckers, or actually, I don't know, paying these motherfuckers like you're fucking supposed to, maybe we wouldn't have so many fucking issues. You ever think about that, you prick? There's another tangent incoming, but we'll get to that. And about this other shit, another reason I have 30 rooms out of order, because I need TVs, I need P-Tax, the air conditioning things that people say are the GOAT. Whenever they see that, they know the room is going to be cold as fuck. I need TVs, I need P-Tax, I need microwaves, I need refrigerators. Hell, Some rooms, I need the whole goddamn room. I need so many things for this hotel to work correctly. And yet, and still, I'm not getting them. So, if you expect $10,000 days or nights, that's not gonna fucking happen as long as y'all are so fucking cheap with this hotel. To be honest with you, I think you should fucking sell it to somebody who actually gives a fuck. Because y'all don't give a fuck. And until y'all give a fuck, until y'all start caring or actually do something with this hotel other than like cut every fucking corner, you're not gonna make shit from this hotel. Hell, the retail Afghanistan I work at makes more money a night than this damn hotel. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Per dollar per basis, this retail Afghanistan makes more money. And they sell way cheaper commodities. It's an apples to oranges comparison, and I don't care if it is. Compared to like some of the shit I've seen, y'all ain't making shit. And it's because you're so fucking cheap. You call it an investment, but it's barely even that. It's a fucking safety hazard. That's what the fuck you're selling. Back to what I was going off on. They won't purchase any damn thing I fucking need. Until I was leaving. They purchased like different things when I was leaving. And said it was the same shit. We need to know how many TVs you have. We need to know how many fire detectors you need. We need to know this, that, and the third. And they started ordering this shit, I guess, as a fucking tax dump or whatever. A tax dump. Because from what I hear, they weren't even going to pay bonuses to the other employees except for managers. They're just doing a tax dump to like write it off on their taxes. That's why they're ordering everything at the end of the fucking year. I may be stupid. I may not know what the fuck I'm damn talking about. But I see a tax dump when I see a tax dump. It's just so many different things that really piss me off about this job. The data-driven model, especially during these P&L. How the fuck am I supposed to know what numbers I'm supposed to be looking at? Y'all never review these numbers with me. There's no SOPs on this shit about numbers. There's SOP about ordering shit. And like, I'm supposed to order this, that, and the third. But there's no SOP about fucking what numbers I should be. There's so many fucking SOP, and if y'all don't know what an SOP is, it's a standard operating procedure. There's so many SOPs about other damn shit, about how to do breakfast, how to do laundry, how to do housekeeping, how to fucking hire, how to fire, how to do this job and that job, whatever the fuck. This seems like a company that doesn't even know what the fuck it's doing. They don't know their identity. They've changed their identity so many fucking times, I guess, as like fucking to get away from certain debts or whatever. It seems like a rug pull, almost. I would say this business is like a rug pull. They don't know what they're gonna keep pulling the rug till they figure out what the fuck they want to be, or pulling the mask off. Yeah, that's a mask pull. They're gonna pull off the mask off till they figure out their fucking identity, what the fuck they want to damn do, and all this other trash. I really wanted to be a part of this company, you know. I really wanted to like care for this company, but at the end of the day, they gave me a slop of shit, and they expect me to make fucking rock candy with slops of shit. I'm not Jesus. I can't turn water to wine. I can't turn slop shit into fucking fudge popsicles. Well, you can if you freeze it. Whatever. It was like a crazy amount of statistics and data they were throwing at me. Unrealistic data numbers, you know. Like according to like some outlets, revenue percentages for a hotel on average 25%. They wanted me to be at 16%. And factoring everything I did, factoring everything that was going on in that hotel, and how much money that hotel was making, that's literally impossible. I'd probably have to make like $9,000-$10,000 a fucking night to even come close to those damn numbers. And us being we're not even off a major highway. We're off like I think 82 or 19, and one of those US 82, US 19 or whatever. I mean, yeah, we get some traffic in there. I mean, there's a lot of development going on around here. We get that question a lot. Like, what's going on around here? Well, there's development going on everywhere. I don't think it's worth the exorbitant prices they're charging. If they really wanted to get the revenue they are looking for, they'd have to spend a lot more fucking money. And they're not willing to do that. They're just trying to expand expand it. You know, that's perfectly fine and shit, but like, there's a perfectly good market in that area, but they obviously don't give a shit. Like I said, they mentioned keeping their percentages and doing all this other shit. So after they got done fucking, you know, pretty much just wringing my ass out to fucking dry or whatever, it's like, oh, we hope you stay. I'm like,
go fuck yourself.
every last one of you, go fuck yourselves. Like, fucking, we hope you stay. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna fucking stay. I'm not gonna damn stay, because this is the stupid shit I have to deal with. You expect me to, like, what do you want me to damn do? Fucking force people to come in here and stay in the rooms at gunpoint? Shit, that's what the fuck y'all want? I'm not gonna risk my freedom for y'all motherfuckers. I'm barely goddamn free. I'm working here fucking 80 hours a goddamn week. Another thing that bothered me was the RD said, I know you like to spend time here, but I'm gonna reduce the time you spend here or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You wanna talk about, like, yeah, keep your labor down or whatever. I have to do all this other shit. I was working 6 days a week. I was checking rooms on 2 days because I didn't have a assistant housekeeping supervisor because I couldn't afford one because of my labor. I didn't have a houseman. Sometimes I was doing those activities. I didn't have a breakfast person 2 days out the week because I couldn't afford that either because my labor was too high according to that. And they looked at all this shit I was doing to try to cut labor and they laughed at it. They fucking laughed at it. I don't know what the fuck else you're talking about, cutting time at the front desk. I've actually worked a couple shifts at the front desk. Did that help? No. This is what y'all want. So after that P&L and after that, I knew for sure I was leaving. I told my staff I was leaving. I said, I'm gone. You know, people started crying. Eventually, the staff threw a birthday/go-away party for me. They said I was the best boss they ever had. I'm like, no, the fuck I'm not. Don't even ever say that about me. I'm a piece of shit, really. You know, I'm leaving. I don't know, I'm leaving some shit out here, but that's really all I can think about towards my time leaving. Came to the last few days. I taught my FOM, my front office manager, front desk manager, whatever you want to call her, and I taught the housekeeping, the facilities manager as much as I could about everything. Pretty much gave them access to everything. Yeah, I really want to shout out to them because they held it down. I ordered some things that the company was too pussy to order for the maintenance guy because the maintenance guy, you know, he really was a jack of all trades. I ordered a couple things up for him, you know, make his job a little easier, like an impact drill set, a maintenance cart, because he didn't even have a maintenance cart. He was pushing around a houseman cart as his maintenance cart, and I didn't know that until the RD told me. Come day October 30th, 2024, my last day, spent it reviewing things with my FOM. Gave her access to all my accounts because I wasn't going to be here. I'm not sure when the RD was going to return because he was always busy. Matter of fact, the last day, he called me and said, thank you for everything. I had to attend a certain conference or whatever. Around from Piss's former assistant, he called and said, why are you just cutting yourself short on a one day on the paycheck? And I'm like, because it's my time to go. I'm keeping my word this time. I'm gone and you won't see me again. At 6:30 October 30th 2024, I handed my keys to my assistant / FOM. I said, I'm gone. That's it. I made sure all my stuff that I bought with my own money was in my vehicle. And I locked my door one last time. Walked out. I made sure before I left, though, that my FOM would actually put her nameplate. I got all the managers custom nameplates with their position to put on, like, the manager on duty sign. Because the company, you know, Bright Brain Management didn't supply that, so I had to go out my own pocket to get those. And make sure she had put the sign up because she was going to be the manager until whatever. A couple days after I left, I got a text from my housekeeper saying, why did the front office manager put her name on the manager on duty sign? You haven't even left. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm already gone. It doesn't matter. Besides, I told her to do that. That's one of the reasons I'm leaving right there, because they don't have respect for any of the decisions I made. When I was telling them, hey, you gotta hurry up in the room, they're like, okay, whatever. And then just a lack of respect from top to bottom in the housekeeping department. That's the reason I'm leaving, because they didn't respect my decisions in the present and in the futures. They really deserve a manager that will tell them. They didn't deserve me as a manager. That's what I'm trying to say. Even though they say I'm the best manager ever, I'm like, yeah, if you respect what I was saying, but they didn't respect that at all. Hotel Eritrea would get that manager, because FBK came back in November 2024. That's their general manager for life. She's good friends with the RD. She looks like a manager. That's what they want. That's what they get. The owner, everybody else seems to be fucking happy with that. So, as far as I can know, they can all kiss my ass. And from what I hear, it's going fucking great. I mean, it's going great. And if you can't sense the sarcasm in my voice, I don't think you have any perception of reality. Me, I'm back at retail Afghanistan. I can actually trust some of the people I'm around. I really couldn't say that about the hotel, except a couple of people. Right brain management. I've never had the opportunity to meet so many Janice ass motherfuckers. By Janice ass motherfuckers, I mean two-faced motherfuckers, Harvey Dent ass motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You could tell them you have a problem, and the first thing they do is they will ignore you. Well, they will be the first to tell you that you did something wrong, and they will reward the people that do the least, or they do the wrong, or they reward the people that do the least and the most wrong. Hotel Eritrea. A lot of people sacrificed so much for the hotel and were improperly handled, fired, or given a higher opportunity. I'm glad as fuck they get the fuck out of there. I learned a lot about the hotel business at Hotel Eritrea, but I don't think I'll ever return. Now, I said that we're retail Afghanistan, but no. No. As for season 3, I don't know where I'll go with this. I mean, I had so many plans for season 3. The loss of my computer, my data. I don't know. I really don't know where I'm headed. We'll just have to see about that. To my subscribers, I'm really glad y'all stuck around. I'm surprised I still have subscribers. Fuck off Army forever. I want to give a shout out to my siblings, my family, my mom, Coco's mom. I love y'all. I want to give a shout out to my friends, my D&D friends, my MTG friends, my Xbox Live friends, my friends on Steam, people I've known all my life I consider friends. Thank y'all. My rock band friends, can't forget about y'all. Thank y'all for bearing with me. I give a shout out to my retail Afghanistan family, my support team. You know where we're going in 2026. Get out the desert. Y'all know who you are. And that's about it. You can fuck off now! Hey. Y'all still there? Hey, fuck off, Army. I just want to say thanks for everything through the years. I know it's been a minute since I dropped a video. Just want to leave y'all with a few words. First thing is, I wrote the script back in 24. I recorded it in March. It should be to y'all soon. Second thing is, I found out about the country I made Hotel Eritrea based off of. Eritrea. It's a country I really don't want to piss off. Human rights issues, conscriptions, mandatory conscription, which is, you know, going to the army. The citizens are automatically drafted into the army. Lots of repression. And I heard they have limited, very limited internet access. So, I'm good on that. And the third thing is, I recorded this video in one take, 3 hours. I am never doing that shit again. No siree. If I sound a little tired during the recording, it's from vocal fatigue. Y'all just forgive me. I'm still trying to get my legs back into this. We'll see if I make another video. That's it. Peace. And you can fuck off now!